what they did in Blue Zones and why I am mentioning is because they did a test that was called hydrogen breath. And what
Oh,
turned out is that the people who live in those blue zones, they had hydrogen breath, meaning that their intestines, their gut was producing hydrogen because
wow.
this is the smallest fish element. We were created from that. That's
Mhm.
why it's such an alliance when we drink it. But our intestines used to have ability to produce the hydrogen, then we could reap benefits from that without need from the outside. But
Huh.
again, the lifestyle came, the processed foods
Wow.
came, fats and seeds and oils that are not the right ones,
Mhm.
that all caused our microbiome to decline. So people outside of blue zones are not able to produce that hydrogen on its own.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Wealth Within Us. I am Michelle Blaze, and today I have with me Aga Kastelik, and she is an H certified hydrogen advisor and a founding member of the LumiVitae project, which is educating people about cellular hydration and delivering molecule tools to people. And she has some fascinating stuff to share with us all about water. I'm very passionate about water myself, so I can't wait to see what you have to educate us all on. And I know that we're going to have an amazing conversation. So tell us about like how you got here. I mean, this is such an incredible space I feel to be in right now.
Yes. Hi, Michelle. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I just want to say
Absolutely.
that it is a privilege to find myself among your other guests who are the names. So thank you very much for having me.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
so, as far as I'm concerned, my story with hydrogen started not so long ago, but when it started, it took me by the heart and I just dove as deep as possible. I've always been anchored with nutrition, wellness, and health. And I've always knew that there must be something else other than tables and rows and columns where they put you in a system and find a solution that is not really a solution. I've worked for a long time with omega-3 fatty acids and especially in that space of nutrition, but also for myself, I've always been on that preventative side, doing some blood work and checking myself,
Mhm.
and not only the average complete blood count, but I've always tried to check what's really out there, meaning parasites and heavy metals, whatnot. Working with nutritionists for the diet and certain adjustments with the lifestyle. So last year, when I had my blood work and the conversation with my nutritionist, she gave me her recommendations. And the last sentence was, oh, by the way, add hydrogen water to your routine. Okay. And I said, all right.
Oh, that's kind of an interesting, by the way. I think a lot of people aren't overly aware of hydrogen water.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I was the same. And I was like, okay, what is this? Hydrogen water. All right. So then I started to research, and it turned out, once you open yourself up and you start those conversations, it seems that people are their biohackers, that people are the advocates of their own health because not looking too far, turns out that my dear friends, they said, oh, yeah, we own a machine. Yeah, we do have a machine generating hydrogen. So I said, okay, fantastic. May I try it? And they said, yes, sure, go ahead. So I started to visiting them, and I tried they had the big machine, and we were chatting, inhaling hydrogen, and drinking it. And then I said to my nutritionist, hey, guess what? I have friends, they have the machine. And she's like, oh, Are you planning on visiting them every day? Because in order to get the benefits from drinking hydrogen, you got to have a routine established. You got to drink it on a regular basis. So I was like, okay, guys, it's either I find a better solution or we stop being friends. I cannot knock on your door every day. So I started
They'll set up a room for you there.
yes, yes. Oh, there were times where I actually was, knocking, and my friend was like, okay, I'm cooking dinner, but your machine is there, just go ahead. So, she was lovely. I love her, but yeah, we are still friends, and I found a better solution. And the solution was, I feel like, brought to me by the universe because, our thoughts and everything and manifesting. So I was just browsing through social media and I saw my other Polish friend who she was driving a car and there was something next to her. And I was like, she started to talk about hydrogen water. And I just asked, what's that thing? And this is how it all started. This is how it became my story. This is how I got myself engaged in the LumiVitae project, which is actually what I wanted to talk to you about today. So, from just educating myself how to acquire a proper device for my private purposes, I entered into a beautiful community of like-minded people, the community that was created now not out of the need of making money, but out of the need of creating ultimate human experience by educating people that they are the advocates of their own health. They have choices, they have tools.
Yes.
So this is how it all started. And now I'm finding myself loving, passionately educating people about hydrogen, telling them about the importance of hydration and making them aware that over 170 disease models stem from dehydration. Sometimes all you need is
Wow.
to drink water, but drink it properly. We say at LumiVitae, hydrate, not irrigate. Because you can irrigate yourself, you can rinse your whole body from electrolytes and minerals. It's drinking a gallon of water will not bring you benefits. You have to do it in a certain way with a certain type of water.
Yeah. So be mindful of the water that you are hydrating with.
Yes, be mindful because, we as humans consist of over 75 trillions of cells. And out there, we say that 70% of our body is water, but on a cellular level, it's 99%. Our cells need water to thrive, to operate.
Yeah.
So this is where, hydration plays the role, because when you make yourself aware that this is 99% of your cells, you got to make sure that you deliver the best quality of water there's out there. And, when you look around, the water, the tap water, the bottled water, it's not it. It's not really it.
No. And if you think about it the quality of your cells are going to be somewhat equivalent to the quality of the water that you're putting in.
Exactly. You couldn't say it better. And what I also wanted to say, and this is a nice comparison, we are cells. It all starts with the cells, right? And our body has two main fluids, blood and lymph. And we call blood kitchen because kitchen delivers nutrients to your organs, to your glands. And it has to carry water that will bring those nutrients in. Lymph, we call bathroom because it removes waste, right? So it also needs water, tons of water to remove from your glands, remove from your organs the waste products.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like. Oh, go ahead. It sounds like water is the main carrier of everything in your body, because if everything's coming in and flowing, I mean, it has to go somewhere. So how does that go there. It's almost like our own waterway system, our own river and,
Yes.
irrigation system, like you kind of said, don't irrigate, but yeah.
Yeah. And then the whole pathology starts when the blood and lymph systems get backed up,
Mm,
when they are stagnant, when you're lacking flow.
yeah.
And
And
here,
you could use the analogy of like, have you ever seen a puddle, just a puddle
yeah,
of water? Like a puddle of water is pretty filthy and
still,
it's
yeah,
stagnant
yeah,
and it's not
yeah, yeah,
moving because there's
yeah.
nothing to flush it out of there.
Yeah, exactly. So I liked your analogy that if you think of you're putting that type of water, then your cells become it, right?
Mhm. Mm,
And then here is when hydrogen enters. This is that smallest molecule in the world. This is one proton, one electron, the first on periodic table. We were created with hydrogen. Stars are hydrogen, and the universe is created from the hydrogen. So
mm,
it was really that first, smallest, the most bioavailable molecule that has the ability to go to the deepest levels of your body to really penetrate the cell. And this is where the fun starts because right now there are over 2,000 published studies based on meta double blinded analysis and peer research. And if you actually go on our Dr. Google, let's call it, and you type the problem you're having and you type the problem
mm,
and molecular hydrogen, you will find a study. When I'm doing research and when I talk to people about their needs,
mhm.
I literally am able to find a problem solution hidden in a research study published either on PubMed or NIH. These are all well researched
Right.
studies. And that's kind of how I came to doing my certificate, which I did with Molecular Hydrogen Institute in Utah,
Okay.
where I am the type of person that really likes to, before I say something on my own, I like to educate myself a little about that. So I did my certification with them, and it was covering biology, chemistry, all the basic science, how the theory needs to be proven, all those little things that make science so fascinating. So this is how I've learned about the hydrogen and really what it does and why it's been so intriguing and so beneficial and actually really so simple. So now, if you don't mind, I just want to say, let's go to the cell. Let's go inside the cell. And
Yeah.
I have my
Yeah, because
so I
to understand, I guess, why water is so important, you have to understand where the main place that water is going.
exactly, yeah. So I have a little It's actually my son's science project. Because this is a cell. This is a single cell in our body, and I just, it is complicated. It is
A
complicated,
lot
but
going on.
within, yes, but within our cell, we have a little thing that's called, this is the blue thing, mitochondria. Mitochondria and hydrogen are very, very important. Mitochondria are the engines
Mm,
of our energy, and hydrogen works on a cellular level by penetrating the cell and reaching into that mitochondria, stimulating it to producing what's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. But in layman's word, this is really just the energy. This is
mhm.
the energy that we need to live. If we lack energy in our cell, the cell dies. And imagine if one cell after another dies, what's going to
Mm,
happen? We die, right?
right.
So we need the energy to live. And hydrogen has the ability to stimulate our mitochondria to produce that energy. And we like to kind of refer to your imagination that the mitochondria is like a little mill, and when water enters, it moves that mill around, producing
Mhm.
the energy. And when that energy is produced, your cell has the ability to defend itself, just to divide into another healthy cell. So now, when we produce that energy, this is a process that makes also something what is called ROS, reactive oxygen species.
Okay.
Producing energy in your cell always come with some waste. And
Okay.
now you on TV, you probably have heard so many times that this reduces your oxidative stress, and this
Yes.
will help you with oxidative stress. And I'm not sure if when I'm talking, people really don't get the concept of what that oxidative stress is. So if I were to give a really simple example, let's imagine that you are going for a run.
Hmm.
So, okay, you're running, it's beneficial for you. You are telling your body, okay, I need more energy, I need to run. So the body starts to produce on a cellular level through mitochondria energy, energy, energy. But with that production, you also create ROS, reactive oxygen species. And the short term production of ROS, it's beneficial for your body because
Okay.
it does stimulate your body to repair, to produce new nice cells. But when your balance in the body is imbalance, right?
Hmm.
You are not able to have the same amount of oxidants and reductants. And to make it simpler to understand, if you are not able to have just that short beneficial time of healing and you're still fighting, you are turning into chronic stress.
Is
And
that,
then
would that be kind of like how so many of us are in fight or flight mode most of the day? I mean, we may not be showing signs of disease, but when we're in that fight or flight, we're now getting those short bursts that you were talking about. What
well,
happens when that's extended? You know what I mean? Like when that's
okay.
extended too long.
I am wondering if you because there is a stress and there is oxidative stress. So
Yeah.
our stress that then cause anxiety and our fight or
Mhm.
flight mode
Right.
is more obviously on some somatic level when your body responds in these unpleasant ways and
Yes.
in your mental way. But this oxidative stress, if I were to just put it in simple words, it's
Mhm.
inability of your cell to remove those waste products that were created along with the energy that was produced.
Okay. Okay.
So our cell, when it's not able to remove those waste, that's blood and lymph being backed up, and then the cell is
Yeah.
not fully detoxified, and then it divides into another not fully detoxified, and then how this is how the
Mm.
whole disease
Yeah.
process, right? All the
Yeah. Yeah.
inflammation. You are just dividing and dividing and dividing. And
Yeah, you're dividing and dividing cells that aren't quite at their peak. So you're
they're not at
dividing
their
cells
peak.
that are not
Yes. And then,
necessarily the healthiest.
exactly. Now, the reason for our cells, because our body was perfectly created. We were in homeostasis and we were able to balance those, energy and waste before. But right now, because of the lifestyle outside, because of the air we breathe, because
Mhm.
of the pesticides and heavy metals and
Yeah.
whatnot, and blue
GMOs, the
light,
EMFs. I mean, we could go on and
exactly, the
on.
radiation, the
Yeah, the
list.
quality of even the well water, the quality of the city water that you're drinking, the additives, like the chlorine and the fluoride and all the things.
Yeah, so imagine how our body is
Mm.
working so hard so hard,
Yeah.
but it's not able to really balance this, right? So the energy and the waste products are not in balance. You have less energy and more of these heavy waste products in your body, and then your cells divide and divide, creating inflammation. These are little tiny inflammatory, states that they're just growing, and they can turn into something really, really
Yeah.
dangerous for our health.
So
So,
would you say that inflammation then is a result of our cells not being able to effectively eliminate this waste?
absolutely, yes, yes. This is exactly it. Now enters hydrogen again, right? Hydrogen can penetrate the cell,
Hmm.
really penetrate. Because another thing that I want to tell you is when hydrogen bonds in water, and I'm going to tell a little bit later how the hydrogen is actually produced, but
Okay.
when it bonds, it can go and it can really do its job. When you hear the commercials, again, I'm referring to that. We are so often so much manipulated
Oh, yeah,
about those
absolutely.
antioxidants, how what job they can do.
Hmm.
When a pill that is calling for being an antioxidant combines with water, it really combining with water, it loses its abilities, and it's not really able
Hmm.
to remove that redox status, removing that ROS from our cell. But
Okay.
hydrogen is able to go into your cell and is able to stimulate the cell for the repair. And this is game changer because
Okay.
hydrogen itself, it's not antioxidant. We call it antioxidant like because
Okay.
it really just tells your body, okay, go there, fix this, starts the healing production, starts the regeneration. This is the like the core game changer in terms of healing, where hydrogen really
Hmm.
extensively researched right now, works on multitude of levels just to signal our cell to repair. Now, I'm sure you've heard of epigenetics.
I have.
So, not sure if you knew, but only 5% of our genes are really hereditary, and the rest is all epigenetics, meaning it really depends on our lifestyle if certain genes will turn on or stay turned off. And hydrogen uses that sciencey geeky NRF2 pathway, which is signaling the cell to respond properly, to
Mm.
respond in a positive way. So this is, again, game changer for people who are genetically inclined to have some certain diseases, starting from neurodegenerative, the cancer, big thing, right?
Yeah.
So
And even dementia and things like that. All kinds of
yeah,
things.
yeah. So hydrogen itself can really work on a cellular level to signal your cells to react in the proper way and to again turn on the protection that the cell can really protect itself. And we call it scavenger because it actually scavenges your body to look for small inflammation and sends the signal to the body to repair that certain area. So sometimes when people start to drink hydrogen water, we've been hearing that, I don't know why my knee is bothering me, but I fell down 5 years ago and then my knee suddenly hurts. So this is the process where, and the hydrogen found some kind of inflammation and just send a signal to repair that. And with some repair, there
Mm.
comes some unpleasantries. However,
Yeah.
extensively vegan research, no side effects from drinking hydrogen water.
Yeah.
So
And I think there's a difference between a side effect and a symptom of detoxification.
exactly. Yes, and depending again how much you are carrying in yourself, how many imbalances. That's how you
Mm.
detox later, right? It can be easier, it can be harder. But yeah, this is the beauty of the hydrogen that my dog drinks it. I water my plants with it. They're thriving, and I'm not in that area of my life right now. And it's for maternity, also for children, for newborns. It's very safe. It's very safe, and well documented to be called it safe.
And I would imagine that if you're struggling with some kind of a chronic dis-ease in the body, that
Mhm.
that hydrogen is going to help boost that as well.
Absolutely, because it turns on your own ability for repair. And it's just, those, I mentioned that ROS, reactive oxygen species. And I also mentioned that short-term inflammation in your body is good because it exercises in your immune system, right?
Okay.
So again, in the short term, the hydrogen boosts your body and boosts your immune system. It has to exercise, right? But with those long term chronic illnesses that you just mentioned, it's really hard to boost your immune system when it's suffering, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then it just picks the stages in your body that need some kind of help where your body on its own really cannot repair anymore, right?
Right. And by the time that you've gotten to, I would say, like a diagnosed chronic condition, so much
Mm-hmm.
damage has already been done. So it's like, well, this stuff has kind of been going on in the background. And when people get a diagnosis, that's when they're
Yes.
just beginning to feel it. So to me, sometimes we don't know what we don't know is going on in our body. So this is
Yeah.
something, whether you're in some kind of a chronic state or you're feeling pretty healthy,
Mm-hmm.
we're still all exposed to the everyday things.
We
I do
are.
think we're getting to a point where a lot of us, our bodies aren't able to sort of maintain that balance, as you said.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
whatever we can do, and I would say whatever we can do naturally, where we're not introducing something else that has side effects that then has to be now detoxified and carried out as waste, as you said, from the cell, because we can only take in so much of that, that
Exactly.
adding hydrogen is going to only improve. Like you said, it seems like there's no real downside. I mean, can you get too much?
No, you just need to know how to drink it. And then
Mm,
obviously prevention is the key. So
agreed.
just start as simple as drink your water, drink it in a certain way. Because like you said, sometimes you just don't know what's going on in your body until you get diagnosis and you just say, oh, but I
Yeah.
felt great.
Yeah, or
So
you're feeling symptoms and you're like, well, and what nowadays it seems like so many
yeah,
people have symptoms that there's just well, we don't know what's wrong with you.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Idiopathic. That was the case of my mom. She has severe allergic reactions to, and the doctors were not able to say what's causing it. And then I introduced her to hydrogen water and, not to look for the results for too long. She is doing really great on that, and she cooled down her allergy reactions in a beautiful way. So
Oh, that's fantastic. Now there's more ways to get hydrogen into the body than water.
there's more ways, right? The company that I partnered
Mhm.
with delivers for now in the drinking form, but you have inhalation.
Mhm.
You can inhale. There are machines, bigger machines that produce
Yes.
hydrogen for inhalation. And there are also tablets. Tablets, which you can just dissolve in your water, but you have to drink it right away to get the
Mhm.
therapeutic effects. But the tablets, in order to have that reaction to produce hydrogen, needs to be bonded with some type of chemical magnesium. So I chose to go with the easiest and kind of, for my knowledge, the purest way
Yeah,
and
most
very
direct.
convenient, yeah, direct way of manufacturing, creating, producing, delivering hydrogen water.
Okay, so how is hydrogen then created in the water? And when we say water, are you using regular tap water to create hydrogen water? I mean, I have a hydrogen machine. I'm not
Mhm.
sure how good it is, but I always add filtered water to it.
Yes, and this is good to use filtered water. And I'm going to tell you in a little bit. First of all, tap water, especially in the United States, it's a no-no.
Yes,
It's
I
a
would
no-no.
agree.
Um, I have to tell you, when I go to a restaurant, and it's a common thing to bring you water to the
Hmm.
table. I am not drinking it. I can smell chloride. I can smell fluoride. I don't know if my nose is that sensitive, but I am
Yeah.
trying to stay away from tap water because, it goes through those pipes. You
Mhm.
don't know what's covered inside, how long it's been there.
Yeah.
So filtered water, absolutely yes. For now, we are saying to create the most therapeutic levels of hydrogen, use spring water
Mm.
and filtered water. Now,
Okay.
the company that we are talking about, LumiVitae, they say not to stress yourself. Just get the water that is the most accessible to you, that you
Okay.
find the best in the reality that you are right now.
Hmm.
But um, also, reverse osmosis, dead water. That's a dead water because it completely strips your water from everything, minerals. Um, Same thing with distilled water,
That
right?
I was
Distilled
just going to
water,
ask.
yes, distilled water is not a way to go. So, the parameters that we have is to take the water that has TDS, those total dissolved solution, in a solution is between 30 and 40. And
Hmm.
when I'm checking with a special device, this is spring water best to
Okay.
do that. Now, I am experimenting right now with a new filtration system in my house that it's not reverse osmosis. So I am not sharing yet because it's new,
Well,
but
that's a
I'll
good
tell
reason to have
you,
you back eventually.
yes, I'll tell you if this works. So what I've been doing right now is buying spring water and using it in my bottle to create the hydrogen.
Okay.
Uh, and also pH.
Mm.
pH, we are not recommending alkaline water. The pH should be below 7. Below 7 is the most beneficial to create the amounts that we want to get in that bottle.
Okay.
But let me take you
So
to the
just back to the
yes,
acidic level. Would that be more acidic or less acidic that you're starting with the pH below 7?
it's more
Less,
acidic, more acidic.
more
Yes,
acidic. Okay. Because I
yes.
know your body wants to maintain sort of like a neutral pH level, correct?
Exactly. You gotta be neutral, and we are bombarded with ions, not
Yeah, because isn't it like cancer thrives in an acidic body, but cancer
that.
really can't thrive in an alkaline body, correct?
Yes, but if you are, yeah, I could talk about alkaline. Maybe we can chat about that on a
Okay,
different occasion. But just to make a brief
right.
description of that, if you are putting in your body alkaline water,
Mhm.
you are hurting your metabolic health because your stomach needs acid. Your stomach
Mhm.
needs acid to break down the nutrients and then
Right.
deliver them to your organs and glands again, right? So if you are, I'm sorry, something in my eye. If you are pouring
Mhm.
alkaline water into your body, you make your stomach work the double shift
Okay.
because it has to switch from alkaline into acidic in order to kind of process the food that was
Mm,
delivered.
much sense.
Plus, you dilute that acid. Everything
Okay.
slows down, and then your liver hurts, your kidney hurts. Uh, the whole process is just being slowed down. And I'm not saying that alkaline is bad. We need to live inside an alkaline environment in order to thrive. Acidosis is never good. acidosis leads to multitude of diseases. But our cells and our organs, they have all different pH, and we are intelligent body. And like you said, we need
Yeah.
to be neutral. We need to be neutral.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, the hydrogen that I am using is created through the process of electrolysis.
Okay.
And electrolysis is just simply putting current into the water
Mm.
to separate the particles of H2 and oxygen. And
Okay.
I get to ask a lot, why do you need to create hydrogen when hydrogen is already in the water? That's one of the questions that I've been asked a lot. And my reply is that the molecular hydrogen that we are creating is in a gas form. So it's a completely different state than the one that you can find in the regular plain water. By using electrolysis, you enhance the water, you make the water rich in molecular hydrogen, more
Mhm.
accessible to you to do its job. So the process of electrolysis is using electrodes, uh, anode and cathode. The device that I am using, I call it Ferrari of all the devices because really through all the research and the safety they came up with the product that it really delivers what it says it's supposed to be delivering. It's certified product by International Hydrogen Association, and then that we call it a bottle. We call it hydrogen bottle, but it really is a device because it does so much more. And electrolysis itself, it's a dirty process because through the process of separating hydrogen atoms and
Mhm.
oxygen atoms, you also always create byproducts
Okay.
like ozone, fluoride, of course, chlorine. Now, if you buy a device on Amazon that costs $30, you will hurt yourself more than you'll get the benefits from
Right.
because the water you're drinking will have some amounts of hydrogen because it's a natural chemical process, but also that water will carry all those toxins that will get into your system. You're actually going to deliver them to your system.
Uh, so what,
So
so if I'm understanding what you're saying, that those systems don't eliminate the toxins that's created during the separation of the hydrogen and the oxygen. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay.
yes, and then the if you allow me, I'll show you what I am
Yes,
using.
absolutely.
So this is the bottle. This is LumiVitae product, and that bottle, like I said, makes so much more than just the hydrogen. And
Mhm.
talking about those dirty byproducts of electrolysis, at the bottom here we have two electrodes, and they are coated with platinum and titanium. When
Okay.
you are in the market looking for a bottle for yourself, please make sure that the electrodes that are used in the process of electrolysis are coated, because if they're not, they're leaching
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah.
into the water. And like I said, it's a dirty process. There's always going to be
Okay.
products.
Good
But
to
this
know. Very, very good to know.
Yeah, and this product, this cell power, it has that little hole here. I'm not sure it's going to be visible here.
Oh, I can. Yeah. Yeah. We can see it. Yep.
So
Little hole down there.
any byproduct, the two chambers inside in here.
Mhm.
Hydrogen is produced in the top chamber,
Mhm.
and the rest is in the bottom, and then removed through that little hole. And
Ah.
then
How is it removed through the hole? Is it removed as like
a
a
gas,
gas? It's like a,
like
okay.
a gas,
Okay. So
yes.
it's
And
almost like
then
a vent is what I'm,
yes,
okay,
yes,
like a vent.
exactly. Now, two chambers and how it
Now
works.
let me ask a quick question. So if that vent, if that gas is going into now our atmosphere, is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay because
Okay.
this is in the air. right? And the amounts of it are just, you cannot really
Okay.
taste it, but in the bottle, it's crucial that you do not deliver it. Now, in this bottle, also there is a membrane that it's called PEM. I don't know if you've heard about that. That's proton
PM.
exchange membrane, and then this
Okay.
is the thing that makes the hydrogen going in the upper chamber and the rest of byproducts in the lower chamber. And that PEM membrane is actually invention of the creator of that bottle. There is a DuPont membrane in the market, really good membrane separating also the protons. But that membrane can only withstand the temperature up to 60 Celsius, where this one, you can put hot water in it up to
Oh,
100 degrees Celsius to create a hot hydrogen water. And
hmm,
then, I drink my lemon water in the morning, hot hydrogen, and I do my herbal teas with that. So I feel
okay.
like this is a good solution for somebody who doesn't like really drink cold water. And I have to tell you, I'm not sure what are your experiences, but I do talk a lot with people who actually don't like to drink water. They, you
Oh,
know,
huh.
like coffee, they like tea. Soda
Yeah.
maybe not so much, but when it comes to water, it's
Hmm.
just tasteless. It's nothing that would bring them pleasure or, I drink coffee for pleasure. I do drink coffee. I love coffee. And I don't drink it because I have to wake up, but I do drink it
Yes.
just for my own
Yeah.
pleasure. And
I love the taste of coffee.
right. And the smell of it.
Yes, and the smell, and yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So this, this is another reason for me to join the project, to just kind of make people invite them to drinking water and make them aware what the
Mhm.
benefits could be, and by giving them the opportunity to make that water how they like, right? Somebody likes
Yeah.
cold water, somebody likes hot water, lemon, no lemon. Obviously everything is happening outside of the device, just
Yeah.
on your in your own cup or mug, right?
So is there a difference when it comes to hydrogen between
Mhm.
cold water, room temperature water, and hot water? Like if like it may sound silly, but are you boiling away hydrogen if you use that water to then heat up?
No, what's
Okay.
happening is
It
when
might have been a silly question. I don't
no, it's a great question. It's a great question. But yeah, hot water creates bigger pressure.
okay.
So when I do hot water, I obviously cook it separately. I pour the hot water into my device, but I take the lid off.
Oh,
Because hydrogen, the bomb and everything, it can be explosive. It can be it can cause a high pressure. So when you do hot water, we have to take the top off to
okay.
like it. But in terms of the levels, the parts per million ppms, you do not lose anything
Okay.
by making it inside the device. Um, the electrolysis that we are referring to also requires electricity. And, there are a lot of companies outside in the market. Like I said, you can find the bottles on Amazon for really $30. When you look for a bottle, make sure you check the voltage, because high voltage not only creates more heavy metals in the water, but also changes the pH of the water. And we want to have a neutral, we want to be
Right.
around 7, right? So high voltage causes change in pH, potential for hydrogen. And in case of this water, this bottle, the voltage is 2.3, and whatever comes in comes out the same
Okay.
pH. And this is very important. And we
Mm.
can chat, on some other occasion, how our cells need some different environment, what is inside in terms of acid and alkaline
Mhm.
and the bases. But yeah, here in this case, the voltage is also important. So if you're in the market for a bottle, make sure you look for something that is in the lower rates of
Okay.
voltage. Yes.
Would you say, and this is maybe a silly question, but would you say that voltage is the same as frequency? Is that the same thing or is that different?
Well, from my experience, I would not call it same, but it definitely impacts the whole process.
Okay.
And Annie, you are asking that because the bottle that I have, the voltage is at the bottom, but I have a separate thing for frequencies.
Okay. Yeah.
This this cup creates frequencies. There are three frequencies that you can use, and that's why I'm saying that this is something so very different than any other
Yes.
bottle that you can find in the market. And again, I'm going to show you. Um, I'm not sure if it's visible.
Yeah, we can kind of see it. Yeah, I see the three little options there.
Yeah, so we have energy, recovery, and LumiVitae in this little device, and
Ooh.
you can use it with the bottle, but
Mhm.
also separately for your food. So,
Oh.
the whole project, like I said, it's to create an ultimate human experience, and
Mhm.
we all vibrate. We are
Right.
all human beings, and our
Mhm.
cells have frequencies.
Yes.
We
And I
talked
think
to
every organ has a frequency. Every one of our, I think teeth is connected to nervous systems and like the
yes,
frequencies going on, I think that we don't even know about. And I think there's been
exactly.
studies that have been done that have had the frequency to sort of break apart certain cancers and things like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Frequency
absolutely.
is like, yeah, it's something to really pay attention to.
Yes, yes, and you've hosted so many guests on your podcast, and they all agree on that. If you want to heal yourself, you got to raise your frequency.
Mhm.
And you know this saying, "I resonate with this person," or "Oh, this
Yes.
resonates with me." This is all frequency, right? And then the project that I am in, it's called LumiVitae.
Mhm.
Uh, and this is just purely light of life, and we are
Love
referring to
that.
the sun so much because imagine yourself when you are outside and you just tilt your head towards the sun and you feel its rays on your skin. The
Yeah.
stent that causes that sun on you is just so pleasant. I have never heard of a person who would be complaining of that of the sun touching and caressing the skin. It's just such on the
Mhm.
like frequency level, such pleasant experience. And then
Yeah, it
the
immediately raises your frequency. I do it every morning when I take my dog out.
Sunday,
I have the
yes,
practice of the sun gazing, I'll just hopefully when it's out. So I do it every time it's out. And
yes,
you just kind of close your eyes and you just, look up at the sun and you're getting that frequency of the sun. Sometimes they even say we're getting light codes from the sun. So there's all kinds of things going on.
set your circadian rhythm right,
Mhm.
to later produce melatonin when you
Yes.
go to sleep. So here, again, the top of that bottle tries to recreate the frequencies, and the creator was aiming at creating the same wave length of wave as the sun.
Okay.
So when you are using the
Mhm.
frequency on the water, it imprints the water with the frequencies of the sun, and we know what happens when sun hits water. It's photosynthesis. It creates life, right? It
Mhm.
creates matter. So you feel alive. You feel alive when sun touches you, and if you do the same thing with just this top and for example, put an apple on top of it.
Mhm.
Uh, the
Oh,
frequency
I see what you're
of the
saying.
sun is just kind of putting the apple, let's call it apple, to the basic format, meaning
Mhm.
it deletes the travel from the tree through the, the highways into the market. You
Yeah,
just have
whatever it was
one.
sprayed with.
Yes, you take a live fruit, you get the energy of the fruit that was just as if taken from the tree. So the energy of
Mhm.
sun, the energy of life is going into, and we
Yeah.
are frequency, we are all energy. We are electromagnetic beings. So I know frequency is a kind of a subject that not everybody is open to, but I'm going to say yet because it's
I
coming.
think, yeah, I think more and more people are sort of becoming open to the frequency. And there's a lot of frequency meditation stuff out there, with certain frequencies and, the,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
And so this is what liquid light is, and then other two frequencies that are used here is for energy and recovery. Recovery is my favorite one because I like to wind down with my water at the end of the day, and it's just so beautifully aligned. So just to kind of lead from there to the creator of that, because I think it's important to mention that the whole project, like I mentioned at the beginning, was created out of the need to help us humans, not to make money of us, but just to help us to understand that simple tools are the best: water,
Mm.
sun, grounding. So the creator is called Nunanina, and he's kind of referred to Nikola Tesla a little bit. It's an inventor. He is from Madeira in Portugal, where he has his clinics. And actually, he was using the water on his patients for a very long time, reversing so many diseases, autoimmune disorders. And he was kind of asked to allow people who are not able to visit him in his clinic to have the device for their own purposes. And this is how it was created. And he looked through multiple devices. He checked different bottles that were out there to come up with the one that would be the Ferrari, let's say, of the hydrogen water bottles. But like you said, there are so many ways to deliver hydrogen to your body. Just make sure that you pick the safest way so you are not exposing yourself to more harm than the benefit.
Right. Right. And it's what's nice about the bottle is that the bottle's kind of controlling that for you. So you already know you're getting the best.
Yes, exactly. And I know that in one of your conversations, you also had, you touched the subject of grounding and
Mhm.
everything. So that bottle also at the bottom here has natural magnets, the magnets that mimic the magnetic field of Earth, making our water hexagonal structured, right?
Okay.
So this the whole project is so well thought. Even the shape of this bottle here, it's not really round. It is kind
Oh,
of like square with angles, just to
okay.
make the imprints from frequencies to make that water more available, to make the particles of the water the smallest, bionic, to enter ourselves and be, the most bioavailable for us. So that's why I'm so passionate about that, because this is such a meticulous,
Yeah, very well thought out
well thought.
from
Yeah,
every
but
angle, literally.
from every angle, literally, yeah. But hydrogen, I would recommend researching hydrogen to anybody who really is looking for a simple solution to enhance their health. And blue zones, right? You've heard of
Yes,
them for sure.
absolutely. Yep. And
People
blue
who have,
zones, for people who don't know, are areas where there's a large amount of people that live to be over 100 and live to be over 100 in a healthy state, not
exactly.
like in a
Not
nursing home and hooked up to whatever.
So what they did in Blue Zones, and why I am mentioning, is because they did a test that was called hydrogen breath. And what
Oh,
turned out is that the people who live in those blue zones, they had hydrogen breath, meaning that their intestines, their gut was producing hydrogen.
wow.
Because, like I mentioned before, This is the smallest fish element. We were created from that. That's
Mhm.
why it's such an alliance when we drink it. But our intestines used to have ability to produce the hydrogen, then we could reap benefits from that without need from the outside. But
Huh.
again, the lifestyle came, the processed foods
Wow.
came, fats and seeds and oils that are not the right ones,
Mhm.
that all caused our microbiome to decline. So people outside of blue zones are not able to produce that hydrogen on its own. Our microbiome is heavily imbalanced. That's
Mhm.
why we need to deliver. And they say that your gut is your second brain. I
Right.
actually believe it's your first. So yeah, we
Yeah.
have to take care of our gut in the first place to find the balance in the rest of our body, because this is like your operating center to deliver
Yeah.
the nutrients through to all your areas of your body.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I've also heard that the deterioration or breakdown of the gut is also where basically all sort of death in the body begins. It begins in the gut.
yes,
I've heard
yeah.
that as well.
Yes, and brain fog also stems from dehydrated gut, uh, the stagnance, right, with the lymph, and going deeper
Yeah.
into your lower intestine. Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is hydration overall. It's a such an important topic, and
It
to know how
is.
to do it right.
Yeah, and to know, I think it's important to say that just because you're drinking water doesn't mean that you're getting hydrated. Like you said, the hydrogen water, that hydrogen actually gets in the cells to hydrate it. And a lot of our water that we have, like it can't get into our cells, or it's overloading our cells with so much waste that the cells can't manage it. And then, as you said, they're duplicating themselves. So you're duplicating bad cells, or cells that are in need of repair. You're
Mhm.
duplicating them. So you want to be flushing those out and repairing those cells. So I guess that's
Exactly.
what, like, the main thing is that, we already have these cells in our body. So the goal is to repair them, correct? Not necessarily to replace them, but to repair them. I mean, obviously they're being replaced all the time, but
Yes, but
you
as
can
we
only
age,
replace so many.
exactly. And then our DNA, our helices,
Hmm.
the little bridges between them, these are hydrogen bonds.
The
So every
telomeres, is that what the telomeres?
yes, yes, yes. So they're shortened with when we
Oh,
are aging,
okay.
and
So those
the
telomeres are hydrogen bonds. That's what you're
yes,
saying.
yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah, so if they're depleted, um, yeah, that makes so
And
much sense.
we are
And
aging faster than yes,
the length of our telomeres is indicative to our health, our overall health and longevity.
yes. The biological age versus your actual age,
Actual
etc.
age, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
know that I want to age younger.
Yes, 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 yes. It all comes down to inflammation in
Yes.
your body. If you, and our body is really intelligent, but it's so scary at the same time that thinking that everything happens really on a cellular level.
Right.
Everything starts with one cell, cancer, diabetes, etc. So to come back to the basis and just to look at your body. If you, for example, wake up swollen, it means water retention. It means that you do something with the water intake that it's not allowing your body to detox properly, right? Check your urine. Look at your urine. If at the end of the day it's still dark, it means that your liver, your kidneys are not really filtering it the right way. So you got to help those kidneys with more water. And like we said, the timing of water is also very important. I personally do not drink water during my meal because
I've read that.
I don't like to slow my metabolism by diluting my acid in my stomach. So I like to have a sip before or after. And there is also, I don't know if you know that, but there is a Japanese art of drinking water. When they say to drink 2 hours before your meal or wait 1 hour after your meal. to
Okay.
get things going.
And
So
that's
just
what you meant when you had said earlier on how we, it's not just the quality of the water, but it's how we drink the water.
yes, yes, yes. And my friend that I spoke to recently introduced me to another concept also of drinking water, which I have not really researched yet, but it sounds really interesting. And maybe you've heard about that, that before you drink water, put a little, a tiny piece of salt under your tongue and let it melt before you drink. So
I've
the
heard that.
electrolytes are absorbed better. But
And
this
if
is
you're talking about electrolytes, it's the Celtic salt, right?
I'll
That
take
the Celtic salt is the best way to actually get electrolytes. And
into
it's
your body.
natural,
Yeah.
to
And
get a
then
good quality.
think about electrolytes, electrolysis. We are creatures, electromagnetic creatures. Our
Yes,
heart,
yes,
if something happens to us, is revived with the use of electricity.
right.
So the electrolytes also help the flow of the fluids in your
Yeah,
body. And
yeah,
to have the electrolytes running in your body, you got to have water.
yeah.
Water is
And from all my research and everything too, is that we are electrical beings. And I think
are
we're electrical beings, we're light beings, we're frequency beings. I mean, like, we really are. We often overlook our own body's intention and intelligence. And I think most of us kind of don't even really know what's going on inside and how it's like, and I think on another level, if you really want to go out there, it's like we're not even solid. Like,
yeah.
it's mostly space. So, if you even think about it in that way, it's just we're perceiving each other as solid, but we're actually not even solid as well. So we're feeding this whole system, and this system knows what to do. And it's us and our environment that have become so distanced from that.
So much, so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
By design, or well, I feel by design, but yeah.
But the
What
good news is you have a choice. You can make
yes,
healthy lifestyle choices that don't cost a thing. The
right.
sun gazing, earthing, walking, the 3 to 9 rule before going to bed, and the 3 hour before the meal, 2 hour to drink,
Right.
1 hour of the devices. So it all these
Yeah.
are very powerful, free of charge tools,
Yes,
and
and it just takes personal responsibility to do most of these
all
things.
that. Yes, exactly. Do not blame others how you feel. Just, take your
Yeah,
health into your own hands. And
yeah,
here in Lehigh Valley, we have so many incredible people who are health aware. Your
right.
guests, and thank you for doing that, and educating others
It
that
has
there
been
are
my passion and my pleasure.
yeah, there are tools out there, and these tools really as simple as water. Just make the right choice and hydrate, do not irrigate. And there is that new old discipline called biohacking, where
Hmm.
you can hack your body. You can hack your body to work on optimal
Right.
levels. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because in December, on the 15th in Las Vegas, there is a documentary premiering on biohacking. Well, where biohackers from all over the world gather together to create a beautiful documentary on your optimal human health,
Mm,
and talking about so many different tools that you can use, that you can bypass the drug, the
right.
pharma, just use the nature. So that movie is on the 15th, and then it's going to be available on Amazon. And the project
Fabulous.
that I'm partaking in, it's also featured in that movie. And I feel like this is very important. And I
Yes.
feel like the fact that it's featured there says a lot.
Yeah. And I think people are not only searching for this, it's like we're our consciousness and our frequency, we're all raising our frequency. And as you said, when you first started out on this journey, and I've found myself in similar situations, when you're very passionate about something and researching something, sort of the research, you just fall into the resources, the right people to come to you, the right
Yeah,
knowledge becomes in your field. And it's up to us
Yes.
to explore it, I do have one question real quick. With the bottle that you have, how long does the hydrogen last in the water? Is it like, does it have a certain length of time that you need to drink it?
Yeah.
You
Well, yes.
hydrate the water, and then how long do you have to drink that water, so to say?
So let's start with maybe a little showing. If
Yeah.
I turn this on and the light is maybe not the best, let's wait until it starts.
Okay.
This is the bubbles is hydrogen, and it's gas. It goes up top, right?
Mm.
And then when it's done, and it's 3 minutes to make
Okay.
a glass of hydrogen. The bottle makes also a 6 minute cycle and 9 minute cycle. That 9 minute is for bigger purposes, but for 3 and 6, it's really up to you how much hydrogen you want to start your
Okay.
self with. So when you're done with the whole process, if you keep the bottle closed, it can withstand the original amount of hydrogen for 2 hours.
Okay.
I'm sorry. If you keep it closed, not it's 36 hours. 36 hours.
Okay.
If you let it open, it's 2 hours. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. So let it open 2 hours. Obviously, it's gas. It's going out. It evaporates. Not evaporates, but just dissolves in the air. But the production also. This particular bottle does not create super high levels of hydrogen. It creates just the right therapeutic research amount to get the benefits from.
Okay.
And really, to understand how the hydrogen therapy works, you
Mm.
have to understand the ratio between ORP, RH2, and pH. And just, not to go again into super science, this is just that potential for hydrogen, meaning pH, where we keep it at level 7 and preferably a little below 7. Then ORP is that oxidative reduction potential, meaning how much of those bad guys that I told you, the waste that the water is able to reduce with the use of RH2, with the use of electrons of hydrogen in the bottle. So
Okay.
the creator, Nuno Nina, was testing different ratios, and he came up with that perfect ratio where the hydrogen that is produced is between 1.2 to 1.4 ppms per liter, meaning preferably it's best to drink three bottles of water daily at least. But you can go more. I personally like to drink between 7 and 8 daily.
Okay.
And it's really easy. It's not like, blah, I gotta go and drink that tasteless water again. Some people say that hydrogen water has a little sweet taste to it. I personally don't taste it, but I feel like the water is a little milder. But I also, wanted to mention that this particular bottle, among other, frequency and grounding effects and structured water and pure hydrogen, it also has chromotherapy. So it's kind of dark. Dark is needed to check it, but maybe I'll be able to switch some colors around. This is just for your pleasure, your visual pleasure that I like to use in the evening. But here we have, let's see if we will be able to switch the colors around.
Oh, so you're infusing kind of like, or you're just shining. I can see the blue on the
Yeah,
bottom, and then it went to green.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, there I
So
see.
it looks
Okay.
amazing at night. It looks amazing at night, and
Yeah.
we have
And
the
color has
whole.
an effect. Colors have their own
Yeah.
frequencies as well. And one other thing that I want, like I have so much. One other thing I do want to mention in this conversation is that emotions get stuck
Oh,
in our cells as well. So hydrating those in addition to other things can also help even, like that's why emotions are associated with water.
Oh yeah,
Once you
Dr.
start,
Emoto's works
yeah.
on water, the shapes, how
Yeah.
you.
Have you done anything with this water with the freezing techniques? There's a couple of people I follow that do the freezing. There's a woman
I
out of
know the face.
Australia.
I've seen
Yeah.
that, but no, I myself, I had not get to that yet. I
Yeah.
was more,
There's
focused on.
I'd love to see some experiments with that. There's a lady from Australia or New Zealand, maybe. I'm embarrassed that I don't know her name, but she shows you how to do that process with just a cell phone camera. And it's
Yeah, I know that there was something where you put a glass of water on top of a picture and then you put it in the freezer and then it
yeah,
freezes the shape, which is unbelievable. I have to try it because it's
yeah.
fascinating.
And
We
I
don't really know what water is. Like,
no, and we can infuse our own stuff into it outside of hydrogen. Imagine, like, I've done water where, we've just taken a piece of, tape and we've written, love
yes.
and things like that, like just such
Hmm.
loving high frequency words that you're now infusing them. And there's so much studies that have already been done on not only how we talk to ourselves, but how we talk to plants and other human beings and our animals and things like that.
Yeah.
And when you
Mhm.
add that to water, I feel like it just compounds the healing effects to another level than just the hydrogen water. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think this is like the foundation of all that we are all kind of looking for. And I think it's what our bodies really are craving right now. Because
Yeah.
we're trying to flush out the toxins, flush out the toxic emotions, flush out all these kinds of things that flush out the programming, flush out all the stuff that has been put on us to get us back to truth, to get us back to nature, as you said, with the sun and with the grounding. And I know that was a lot.
Yes, yes. And you know what? The healing process, it has uh, to be finished successfully. It has to be not only on a physical level, but it has to be also on that emotional, even, I think it's not maybe even more important to heal
Yeah,
your emotions than somatic. It just goes away.
right.
And you said that to detox your surroundings from the people too with
Yes.
bad energies, right?
Yeah. Not just mold or things like that, but it's like who are you spending time with?
Exactly. And this is the case of those people in blue zones where they create beautiful
Right.
communities, supporting communities where,
Yeah.
people are there for one another. And here you got to stay away from people who just drain your energy.
Yes.
And, it's
Yeah.
sometimes hard to do that. It requires some maturity with your own decisions, but this
Uh,
is the way to go, the code of emotions and all of that.
right.
And we have so many beautiful tools, human design, family constellations,
Absolutely.
all of
And,
that.
and I
Yeah.
think it doesn't even cost you anything to start. It starts by making the choice because I
Yeah.
often found, as we just said earlier, it starts with a choice. And then
Mhm.
once you make that choice, you would be amazed at what comes into your life. Just
Yes.
making a choice and sticking to that, a conscious choice. And that
Yes.
doesn't cost a thing.
Decide to be healthy. I decide to be healthy. I
Yes.
decide that my body,
Yeah.
every cell in my body is healthy and thriving, and just, help
Yeah.
yourself be the engine, be the force, and do not wait for a prescription to be picked up at, local CVS, not
Yeah. Yes.
CVS. I love them, but yes. So you know what I mean, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely it is. It's just it's making that choice. Well, can you tell us how to get the bottle, the it's called LumiVitae.
LumiVitae, liquid life. Yeah,
LumiVitae
earth in a
liquid light.
bottle. Yes,
Earth.
sun, earth, and water. Yeah. So if somebody is interested in getting the water, I do hydration classes, and you can follow me on Instagram at
Mhm.
Lumi Your Life. I am also on LinkedIn, but I'm most active on Instagram. I did not get to Facebook yet.
That's
But
okay.
Lumi Your Life, and also I have an affiliate link that you can go ahead and purchase the bottle. But what I always recommend: educate yourself first. Educate what
Right.
choices you want to make. Educate where you want to spend your money on. If you want to have an updated phone or earphones, or maybe invest in your health a little. Uh, just the
Yeah.
way to. And I can leave obviously my contact.
Yes. And in the just it doesn't matter what platform you're watching this on, all of that information will be in the description. Well, oh my gosh, like you've left me with a lot of thoughts. But I before we go, I just like what do you want to leave people with after this whole discussion with hydrogen and water and I mean, and the healing of our body and probably the easiest, most proper way, one of the easiest, most proper way
Um,
through
what
water.
I want to leave people with would be the word freedom. You can free yourself from anything that is restraining you by getting the knowledge, because knowledge is power, and the access to knowledge these days is free most of the time. You can educate yourself to make conscious decisions on everyday basis, and please do not be overwhelmed, because one step at a time is worth more than a huge step from time to time. So just incorporate those small changes every day and love yourself. Love is a crucial thing in this whole thing, to love yourself, to really be there for yourself before you are for others, because you have to exist so other can exist. So freedom of choice, and be optimistic, because you have the tools to heal yourself, to recover on emotional and physical level.
Hey, I absolutely love that. And with
Yeah.
that, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being on. I would love to have you back. And there seems like a lot of other topics that we could explore a lot deeper. So I definitely welcome you back. And for everybody else, thank you again for watching another episode of The Wealth Within Us.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everybody.
Right now, you can begin aging gracefully, full of energy, vitality, and overall wellness. But as time goes by, our bodies can start to show signs of aging. Until now, introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product that activates our own cells. This breakthrough in regenerative science helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state. X39 uses patented phototherapy to elevate a copper peptide that signals cellular activation. Think of it as your internal repair system, generating younger, healthier cells that can rejuvenate your tissues and organs. Just one X39 patch applied daily is all it takes. Safe, non-invasive, and backed by clinical studies, this is your chance to regain control over your vitality. Don't miss out on the future of anti-aging. Experience the power of X39 today. Visit patchedlight.com and start living younger now.